Welcome to Same Spit Different Face Podcast, where my opinions is facts. And if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell.
I still had to switch up the flow, not sweeping no dirt up under the roller. I had to talk to the plug, he gave me some shocker, piece gave me a buzz. I got a blocker, I'm calling the stopper, it's crying the beat, make a whopper. I sent out lil' homie, he come with 100, you running, he chasing, you track and field. You niggas was up, didn't wanna help up, then you fell off, Jack and Jill. My nigga needed.
For the hip hop spotlight artist, check the description. So, let's talk Biggie. Also follow Same Spit Different Face on Instagram. Now, Spit Squad, a report surfaced recently alleging that the murder of the notorious B.I.G. Big Papa was covered up. Along with that, the ex-FBI agent who worked the case noted who was responsible for the death of the rapper. According to the retired FBI agent Phil Carson, Suge Knight financed the hit that went down on Biggie and noted it was carried out by a man named Amir Muhammad with the assistance of corrupt LAPD officers. Carson said all the evidence pointed to Amir Muhammad. He's the one who pulled the trigger. There was plenty of others who helped orchestrate it and allowed him to pull the trigger. Carson spoke on the alleged cover-up, saying it was the biggest miscarriage of justice in my 20-year career of the FBI. I had evidence that LAPD officers were involved and I was shut down by the LAPD and the city's attorney inside Los Angeles. The former agent revealed that Diddy was the intended target for the hit, not Biggie. Carson said that this information had Diddy pretty freaked out after learning that he was the focus. The Wallace family civil case against the LAPD reportedly contains all the evidence related to the murder, but was sealed by a federal judge. The criminal investigator for Biggie's murder remains open, though. Wow, so that's kind of crazy. Something we never knew. We never knew the hit was intended for Puffy, but I remember, because I'm a hip hop historian, man. I remember hearing a story a long time ago where they talked about how the beef actually kicked off between Diddy and Suge Knight. And it basically kicked off at a party Jermaine Dupri had down in Atlanta where Diddy and Puffy basically was down there. And it was like some exchange of words, and they was down in the middle of the street and they had some type of rift between each other. I mean, that got settled there, but it basically turned into a situation of where it just went crazy, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to understand when Snoop Dogg was on trial for murder and because his security guard had ended up shooting someone, right? If I'm not mistaken, that was P. Diddy's bodyguard who ended up getting killed. So I think it was like a crazy situation back and forth. It was something that got out of hand. And if you let a lot of people tell it, right? I've heard Jermaine Dupri tell the story. I've heard a lot of people tell the story, and basically, the story is basically something where they got into this situation that started between Diddy and Suge, and you know, Diddy, I think he more so oriented towards business, man. He understand that beef and murder and all those things aren't good for business and I'm gonna say for myself, especially if it's tied into the way that you make money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people were saying that Suge Knight was using the beef between them in order to light fire under the Death Row records and, you know, basically like cross branding through beef. But for the people on his side, it was real beef. You know what I'm saying? And so when we hear about Biggie hearing that Pac was shot and Biggie was just like, yo, man, that's terrible. I feel bad for him. And if you look at the situation, you'll even see that Biggie never dissed Pac back, man. You know, Biggie was just kind of like, yo, Pac, my homeboy, prayers up for him. I don't know where everything went bad. But Pac kind of took on the image and the personality of Suge Knight. Suge Knight was somebody who was ruthless, somebody who would fan the flame of a fire if it meant that's how he was going to promote him. And Pac was real in all aspects of the things he did, but you do get a lot of people who say, man, Pac was a nice guy, he was gentle, he was cool, but after he played that role in Juice, he kind of stuck to that character. Now, I know it's a lot of people who gonna get in here and basically say, oh, that wasn't the character Pac was playing, Pac was really about it, Pac was really with it. But when you hear somebody named Mob James, who was like the head of security, who was really a blood, and he ran with Suge Knight, and he was the muscle for Suge Knight, he said that, you know, Tupac was a rapper. He wasn't really down with the set, and for them guys to let him get into that type of beef and to get into those type of things with those type of people, it was crazy. And he always say, yo, if Tupac wouldn't have stumped out Orlando, he would be alive today. So, yeah, I mean, somebody directly tied to it with nothing to benefit, nothing to gain, and nothing to lose from saying this said, yo, Pac wasn't really into the gang shit. He wasn't street. And if you look at Pac history, man, Pac was raised to be a Panther. Now, understand that me saying Pac wasn't a gangster or wasn't street, that don't mean he wasn't a real nigga. That don't mean that he wouldn't ride for his. I mean, when he saw two off-duty white officers harassing a black guy, he shot them both. You know what I'm saying? And he beat the case. So we know he stand for the cause. We know he ain't a bitch. He just wasn't a gangster. He wasn't a thug. But I think in the process of being with Suge Knight, he kind of just got caught up in that lifestyle, and then he ended up becoming one of those type of figures. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't bred or born or raised to be a gangster. He kind of just jumped into it after Suge Knight bailed him out of prison.
Check out No Time to Play Fair, episode 3, and the end screen. Think Snowfall of Power meets the trenches of Chicago. Spit Squad, drop below in the comments and let me know what you think. Also, it's free, so click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Peace.